Good day. As a follow-up on the Ninth Gate movie review that I did with Thomas, I'd like to get a little bit deeper into it. More specifically, the cards or the drawings themselves, exist twofold. Each drawing has a false and a real one. The false one are signed with AT, and the real ones that are hidden in the other books, well, across the three books, the LCF drawings are hidden, the real ones. They have a drawing, an etching, they have a Latin text, and then also an English text. And they are all rather important in what the cards mean, or what they are trying to convey, which you don't really get into in the movie. I'm not talking about the book. I know there's a book, The Dumas Club, but I'm just not. They're too different. So I'm just sticking to the movie. The first card is a rider on a horse and is going towards a castle. In the AT drawing, the castle has 4 towers. In the LCF drawing, the castle has 3 towers. There is a Latin inscription which can be translated to, "Only he who battles according to the rules will prevail." That is very important for the entire journey through these gates that are symbolized by these drawings. They are not physical gates, they are gates of the mind. This knight that is riding towards the castle makes that gesture. And the English text is saying, "Silence is golden," which is a shorter version of "Speaking is silver, silence is golden," meaning that silence is more valued or valuable than the spoken word. Because both the truth and the lie can be either spoken or silenced by silence. It is also a warning to do with the Latin inscription. The Latin inscription means, "Only he who battles according to the rules will prevail." The rules are actually described through the drawings on the etchings. And they're the same in both the AT and the LCF drawings, both the English and the Latin texts. In numerology, the number 4 stands for the realm of the physical. Our 4 limbs, for instance, as the human expression of that. The number 3 in numerology stands more for the spiritual. And also, there's a lot of biblical references in the movie. They're parables. They are symbologies. And they should be looked at as such. It's not a religious movie, even though religious parables and symbology is used to convey a message. Now, when Corso, or the protagonist, or you, the viewer, sets out on this journey, you have to travel through 9 gates to get to the end. And one of the rules is that you, the viewer, or you, the searcher into occultism, need to abide by. Because the warning is in both the LCF and in the AT drawing. You have to abide by the rules. And the outcome will entirely depend on which choices you make throughout that journey. And the first warning you get is silence is golden, meaning do your journey in secret. Don't tell anybody. Don't brag. Don't boast. Never tell anybody what you're doing. Go alone and go in silence. That is the occult path. A path that is secret and solitary most of the time. And that should never be spoken of. Quite the opposite of what I'm doing now. Well, I'm not bound by any oaths, though I can. That I will probably do all the 9 cards, but this was the first one, which also brings me to the opening scene of the movie, where Telfer, the man, the husband, kills himself by hanging himself, which we will come back to at a certain point, because a hanged man is also featured in one of the engravings. But he hangs himself, and one of his slippers falls off, which is symbolic for his soul leaving his body. And on his desk is a horse, a bronze horse, which I might be reaching here, but I somewhat interpreted that as the red horse of the apocalypse. Telfer's own apocalypse, personal apocalypse. It was his final act of war to make sure that even though he has lost all the power in his marriage, he has bent over backwards to accommodate his wife, who was the real contender for the book, to keep it out of her reach. And that was his final act of war, of attrition in this life, before he moved on to the next, or his next life, whatever you want. That is where I'm going to keep it for this first video, because the first card, that's really all there is to it. You travel in secret, but your end goal, whether it is the 80 card with the 4 towers on the castle, or the LCF drawing with the 3 towers on the castle, is determining the outcome of your journey into the occult. Are you chasing the materialism, or are you chasing the wealth of the spirit? Chasing the materialism maybe is worthy of its own pursuit, but it is not a pure magical will, and therefore it is the road of the profane, and it will lead to destruction, as it did with everyone in the book who wanted this secret, this knowledge for material gain. Corso, as the only person who was chasing material gain throughout all his life, changed throughout the movie and wanted the knowledge that it offered. And he wanted it so much that he even for let go of all the wealth that the Boris Balkan character had promised him, that was practically already within his hand. He threw it away for the knowledge, for the sake of the knowledge. And I will see you in the next one, because there are 8 more of these coming.